Now, since the mental switch happened where I was able to accept myself as a man, love myself as a man now. And it's the craziest thing to go from hating myself as a man my whole life.
Yeah.
Now I'm 43 years old, and this is the first time in my life that I can accept myself and love myself as a man and truly love myself.
Wow.
And I love other men too. I hated men my whole life. I thought they were monsters, never wanted anything to do with them. Now I see the beauty in both sexes, both genders. Men are beautiful.
That's
just
right.
as
Everyone, it's people. We put too much emphasis on gender and stereotypes,
Yeah.
and right? We just put too much emphasis on it. We should be looking at people. I like
Yeah.
people. I like people with good energy, good attitudes. If you're a shithead, I don't care what gender you
Exactly.
are, like you're still a shithead. So
Yeah.
who cares?
All humans are worthy of love and respect, regardless of how they express themselves. Would never keep my love away from like another trans person just because they're presenting themselves as an opposite sex. That's where they're at. And I know I was there, so I just give love and support and recognition to anybody that expressed themselves. However, I get accused of wanting to eradicate the world of trans people because I'm speaking my story. This is my story. I still love all trans people and all expressions. It's just that I recognize that making permanent changes to your body based on what turned out to be a belief for me is not a good thing.
That's not anti-trans. You're sitting with an actual trans person, number one. Number two, that's those people who are very insecure. We don't want this to happen to you. We want you to be safe, and we wish that that never happened to you. So people who say that to you, friend, they're the ones who are pushing an agenda. They're the ones who have some weird idea of what it means to be trans. It's a mental disorder. It's not normal. It's we're acting like it's completely normal to want to change your sex. Like, what? And what planet do you people live on? Why would
anybody, like my parents, obviously, when they found out I was going to have the surgery, they bombarded me with messages. Please don't have that surgery. That's terrible things. People tried to talk me out of it, but I was in a place. I view this my life. I need to be authentic to myself.
Yeah.
And I rejected any attempts to try to tell me that I was doing something I shouldn't do. Perhaps the right therapist might have navigate the conversation in a way that would have opened my mind and perspective.
I do believe that. I 100% believe that if they would have, I'm a therapy person. It helps you on so many levels, but we have now destroyed trans therapy. We have made it affirmation. You know, I deal with a lot of therapists who are so freaked out because they have to affirm you if you walk in and say, that's what happened to you. They just had to affirm you. They weren't even allowed to say, hey, wait a minute. Maybe something else is going on with you. It could be, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost every trans person I've come across, I identify that same thing in this same lack of self-love. They had similar upbringing where they were raised to believe that being a boy was not okay. And it's beginning to paint a picture in my mind of what is happening here. 4 years ago, I started writing a book about my trans experience. Once I realized that I was not trans, and that I needed to go back to living as a man, my entire book changed to where now my book is trying to let people know there can be potential to truly believe you're making the best choice for yourself with everything you are, and it can change.
It can change.
Yeah.
It can actually change. I have to just keep repeating myself here, LaRell, but you really have a great attitude, and I'm just shocked that you're not more pissed off, and maybe you're hiding it, but I just want to know that you have every right to be pissed off.
I actually last week went to a men's retreat, something I never would have gone to before, obviously, because I was a lot. But I went to a men's retreat because I saw the benefit in going and being around other men. And at this men's retreat, one of the things they did was allowed us to process our grief. And I was able to feel grief and anger about this thing. And they had these pillows there and a stick that you could beat the pillows and express your anger. And I was like, Kaiser, Denver Health, transness. I was so angry and I was getting it all out. So I finally let myself just really feel that anger towards the whole system, what it did, how it sucked me in and promised me happiness. And I just accepted it and went along for the ride.
Yeah. What else are you going to do? You're trusting medical professionals, remember? Of course you're going to trust them. You're supposed to. That's what we're
Yeah.
taught, right? We're taught to do this. But now I don't trust them anymore. I don't. Even me,
Mm.
I don't. And I'm like that. Like these people are out the rockers. Like it's as if they want to trans as many as they can. Doesn't it feel like that?
It does. Absolutely.
It's like a what do you call it, conveyor belt, like just rush them through,
Uh-huh.
because I feel like the more we have, the more it sort of gives them like what right, a foundation that says, well, look, there's 500 trans kids, of course it's real, right? What happens when all those
Right.
500 trans kids detransition? Because you and I both know they're going to detransition, and then what? And then who's going to take responsibility for that? The
Yeah.
more people like
Yeah.
you write about this experience, you're going to save somebody. You're using a
Yes.
tragedy to create a positive space, which is beautiful and amazing.
Absolutely. I believe in having gratitude for everything, no matter how tragic it is. There's a blessing or lesson in everything.
Beautiful.
And I could
Beautiful.
live the rest of my life in misery and be pissed off
That's
at
right.
everybody and everything. Or I could say, this is where I'm at.
That's right.
I don't have a peace anymore. It brings up a lot of opportunities for making funny jokes. I have fun with it.
Good for you. I mean, I do that too. I make fun of myself all the time. I'm a man with a vagina.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's kind of funny, and I get
It
people
is.
laughing all the time. You know, that's how you actually make conversation. I speak
Yeah.
in front of groups of people, and I always make fun of myself, and it literally the whole audience is cracking up, and then they love me by the end, and no one feels weird, and no one, you know, and I'm like, it's funny. You know,
Yes.
so I do think you have a gift. You've been given a gift through your trauma and through all the bullshit that's happened to you. And I value your friendship, and I value you as a human, and I value you as somebody who's going to help this community in so many levels. We need you. And that's why it means a lot to me when you step up, because you don't have to do this. You do not have to do this. You can just go in.
Yeah. Could just go live my life. But
That's
I
right.
see the incredible benefit in me telling my story. It would be a
Huge.
tragedy if I just kept it to myself, because
Yeah.
there are so many people out there that could benefit from it. I might be the one person on this planet that articulates my story just right, that someone who is about to have a surgery stops and thinks for a moment.
Thank
And
you.
that's my mission.
Yeah, because it's irreversible. People, irreversible. When these
Yes.
wingnuts tell you it's reversible, they can. And I said it a million times today because I'm fun mad. Would you like to say anything before we leave?
As far as the book goes, it is on Amazon, but what it's called is transgender. It is a belief and it can change, because I honestly believe it is a belief that can change. No matter how strong your belief is, it can change. And that's what I learned, and that's what I want people to learn from that book. I want
Wow.
this to be known.
Wow, I gotta say, that was such a moving and remarkable conversation between a trans man and a detransitioner. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 6, I recommend going back because there's so many powerful insights, and it's just a shame to think that a lot of people are going to dismiss this as bigotry or transphobia when it's actually quite the opposite. These are the people that should be listened to. There's somebody who is currently living their life as a trans, and then there's someone who realized they made the wrong mistake and they were misguided. Please check my description for all of the links and also for LaRell's book. Thank you so much for subscribing if you like these videos and for watching and liking. Take care.